everybody, welcome back to the Huffman House. If you are new here, I am Lisa. Mike's at work today. And it is a rainy, yuck day out, so that means it's a day working in the kitchen and I've got a lot to get done. So, our daughter's pregnant and we had her gender reveal this past weekend and we had some fruit left over. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these and get these into the freeze dryer. So that's blueberries and some grapes is what we had left over on the fruit. And yeah, so this will be my first time freeze drying blueberries and freeze drying grapes. I've been told that you're supposed to like cut them in half. So that's going to be a long and tedious job. Kind of should have had him help me with that yesterday, huh? When he got home. But anyway, so I'm going to get these into the freeze dryer. I'm going to make some Mexican corn with you to get canned up to go on the shelves. And then I do need to get a loaf of just the no-knead crusty bread. So we have a loaf of bread for the rest of the week. And we do have a video on that, and I will try to link it below. So, like I was saying, we had a busy weekend getting prepared for the gender reveal, and then also we were getting the pigs ready because they went Monday, so today's Wednesday. They went Monday to the butcher, and I tell you, I'm gonna miss them. This is our third round on the pigs. And for some reason, this time around I'm feeling sad about it. I don't know why. It was weird. But, hey, we're going to have a freezer stocked up with meat again. So, out of the last two pigs that we did last year, we went through pretty much all of it. I think we have a few breakfast sausage left. Oh, and we had the two hams, which he smoked up and cured and smoked up. And that will be for Christmas. And what else did we have left over? Oh, we had one or two of the bellies left over, which he also cured and smoked. And we got that put up in the freezer. So, honestly, we didn't really have much left over from the last two pigs. Now, they were smaller pigs. We had them a little bit shorter of a time last year than we did this year. And then we did the first year we did pigs. So, this time around, Biscuits, boy, he was huge. So, we're kind of excited to find out once we go pick up the meat from the butcher what their actual hanging weights were. We think that they were about 100 pounds apart, which is unusual. Also, both pigs are pretty close to each other. All right, so I'm going to finish getting this fruit cut up and into the freeze dryer. And then I'll be back with you, and we'll probably go ahead and make the corn when I get back. Alright, so the blueberries and the grapes are in the freeze dryer. And they'll be done sometime probably tomorrow afternoon. So next I was going to get started on the Mexican corn. And I'm just using this book here, which is the All New Ball Book of Canning and Preserving. And it's the same book I used on the Meals in a Jar that I made in one of my last, a few videos ago, I'm not sure. I'll try to link that video down below for you also. So anyway, so not only do they have the meals in a jar, they actually have some one jar vegetables. And basically, it's just some different takes on your normal vegetables. So for instance, this time we're doing the Mexican corn, and it's going to have onions, bell pepper, and what else? Some oregano, and some cumin. And we're going to can that up and put it on the shelf. And that way we just have another vegetable instead of just plain corn. We'll have some Mexican corn that we can have with our Mexican food. Can make it, add it to burritos, can add it to chili, any of that stuff. But while I went to get our onions, and these are the onions that we grew this past year, when I went to get them out, I realized that some of them are a little past their prime. So it looks like I will be having to get these cut up and ready for the freeze dryer after I get this recipe made. So that just added another task onto my rainy day. So anyway, I need to get my onions cut up, and then on my peppers, I had these that I saw out in the garden. Now these are supposed to be the red Ajvarskis. They haven't turned yet, but they're fine. We can use those. And I'm going to use poblano peppers that we had growing. I mean, why not? Yeah. So, all right, I'm going to get through my onions and get that chopped up, get my peppers chopped up, and then I'll bring you back. So I've got 3 cups measured out, my cup of onion, and my cup of peppers. Now again, it called for bell peppers, and I used a red pepper and a red bell pepper kind of, and then I did poblanos because we like poblanos with our Mexican anyway. And peppers are interchangeable, so you can always do it how you want it done. All right, so next we're gonna go ahead and get our jars loaded up. Now the recipe that I'm following is to make 4 pints or 2 quarts. So of course I'm gonna go with pints because it's usually just me and Mike. And then if I do have family, I can just grab 2 of them. And so I decided that instead of mixing everything together and then putting it into the jars, because you know how sometimes this jar may have more peppers or this jar may have more onions or whatever. I think what I'm gonna do is I am going to separate everything out, if that makes sense. So the corn, of course, I'm just gonna put an equal amount into each of these jars. Or as close to an equal amount as I can. If my hubby was here, he's a lot better at eyeballing stuff than I am. All right, so let's see what we got. All right, so I mean, they're pretty even. This one over here definitely could use some more, and there's a little bit more here anyway. I'll add that in there. Yeah, I think that's gonna work fine. All right, so next we will add our, I think I'm gonna go ahead and add the seasoning next. All right, so everything called for 2 teaspoons. So 3 cups of corn, 2 teaspoons of salt, 2 teaspoons of oregano, and 2 teaspoons of cumin. So dividing out that to the 4 pints that I'm making, it'll be a half a teaspoon into each jar. So we will do that next. And remember, when you're water bath canning, you don't want to use any iodized salt. I use kosher. I believe you can use like the pink Himalayan. All right, my salt. Cumin. And like I've told you in some of my other canning videos, if you don't have a canner or you don't pressure can, no problem. All these recipes in this book, you can also just make and freeze. And then the oregano. And this is our oregano. And since it's not like smushed down, I'm going to give a good amount to each jar. Or, you know, not only can you make it and freeze it, you could just make it for dinner. All right, so next we got onions and peppers that need to go in there, and it's a cup of peppers and a cup of onions. All right, so, well, let me grab my maybe 1/4. Don't see my 1/4. That might be a 1/4. Yep, this is a 1/4. All right, so it would be 1/4 of a cup. I'm actually really excited to try this. All right, 1/4. Since we're doing it that way, I'm just going to dump it in the bigger bowl because it's easier for me to scoop up. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. And I believe that's it, guys. It says that you could add chili powder or chipotle powder. I guess you could probably even add like cayenne pepper if you like that. I just don't, as we all know. And then it says just to top it off with some vegetable broth. So I went to the back and grabbed, this is my last quart of vegetable broth, and that's why I'm going to go ahead and make some up since I'm in the middle of doing everything anyway. Alright, so we're just going to top these off. And we're going to go to 1-inch headspace. Again, this is if you're canning. You're more than welcome to make this in a big batch and divvy it up and freeze it. Or just make a single serving out of it and make it for dinner. Alright. Alright guys, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to debubble. Maybe not. I'll be able to use this. Debubble, and I will get, I feel like I could use a little more corn, actually. And I still don't think it would put it at, yeah, just to get it up a little bit higher, I think I'm just going to add some, a little more corn to it. And that'll put me right at my 1 inch of headspace. I don't know about you guys, but rainy days, if I don't feel like just doing nothing, like curling on the couch and watching some movies or something, then I love working in the kitchen and putting meals together and stuff. So, all right, I'm gonna get my vinegar, wipe my jars, get the lids on, and I'm gonna set those aside so that we can do the next batch. Got my Mexican corn. Got so much going on, my brain's fried. All right, so the Mexican corn is in the canner, and I'm gonna bring it up to pressure, get that canned. While that's canning, I'm gonna go ahead and get started on the bread because it does need to sit for at least a couple hours to rise. And while it's rising, it's canning, I will tackle these onions, and any of them that feel like they might be starting to go, I will go ahead and get those cut up, placed on a freeze dryer tray, and then stick it in the freezer until tomorrow when it's time, when the fruit is done and I can get the onions in there. So, all right, so I'm gonna finish making this bread dough and get it rising.
me company on this rainy day. I got everything I wanted to accomplish and a little more. See you next time. Bye.